Hey guys, my name is Saud. We have a age 3-year-old daughter, Elizabeth. She's perfect. She has red hair and dark orange eyes. She's the perfect angel. Big brother Anthony, age 15. Colby, age 17. Allison, age 4. If you want to hear the replies of my daughter, Allison, my two sons, Colby and Anthony, and my youngest daughter, Elizabeth, Luna sighed lightly, gently rubbing her eyes in tiredness, her soft locks falling to the side, her body shifting against the pillow in slight annoyance. Her gaze shifted slightly, catching the sight of the two boys up in the middle of the night, stirring, likely the reason why she woke up as well. Boys, she murmured softly, her voice laced with weariness. Luna's eyes narrow slightly, her patience clearly thinning as she props herself up on one elbow, the blanket rustling with her movement. Boys, she says again, sharper this time, I swear to God, if I have to get out of this bed and unplug those phones myself, a muffled giggle comes from Colby's room. Anthony freezes mid-scroll like a deer in headlights. Luna, who had been beaming with pride as she held up Allison's test, complete with a big gold star, suddenly pauses when she hears tiny footsteps pattering toward her. Elizabeth stands there, clutching the hem of her little dress, lower lip wobbling. Her dark orange eyes are huge and watery. Mommy, she sniffles, did I do good too? Did I get a plussy? Anthony and Colby freeze mid-celebration. Soud's face drops from proud dad to guilty panic in 0.2 seconds. Elizabeth's face scrunches up, her tiny hands balling into fists as she stomps one foot hard. But I want a test! She wails, voice cracking with the sheer injustice of it all. Her red hair is practically vibrating with outrage. Luna drops to her knees in front of her, cupping Elizabeth's tear-streaked cheeks. But Soud is already backtracking wildly. No, 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 sweetheart. When you're 5, we'll get you 10 tests. 100! He babbles frantically while Colby muffles a laugh behind his hand. Elizabeth's iPad clatters to the floor, screen shattering into a spiderweb of cracks. For half a second, there's silence. Then her tiny face contorts in pure horror. No, no, she screeches, flinging herself onto the broken glass like it personally betrayed her. Blood smears on the tiles as she wails, I didn't do it! Colby liar! Colby blinks innocently from behind his textbook. She totally knocked it over, he says smoothly while Anthony nods along beside him. Luna gasps and scoops Elizabeth up, but Saud is already grabbing Colby by the ear. We do not lie in this house. All day long, Elizabeth shuffles around the house, silent as a shadow. No one pays her much mind. Anthony is doing homework, Colby's glued to his phone. Luna is busy washing the dishes. Saud is watching sports in the living room. Every so often, she passes by them, trying to get their attention, but they either nod and wave her off with a distracted go play Lizzie, or just flat out ignore her. She starts to droop. Is she in trouble? Did she do something wrong again? The camera footage doesn't lie. Saud's furious as he stares at the screen, watching Colby knock over the iPad with his elbow, his hands clench and unclench by his side. His face is pale with anger. Every muscle is pulled taut as a bowstring. Colby Andrew, he roars, making Luna, Anthony, and Elizabeth jump. The thunderous sound of his voice bounces off the walls like a crack of thunder, making Colby spin around, face turning white as a sheet. Saud grabs Colby by the collar, shaking him so hard his teeth rattle. His voice is a volcanic growl, barely controlled but still dangerously loud. You lying little snake! You made her cry for nothing? Luna covers her mouth in horror. Anthony drops his book with a thud. Colby stumbles back. I didn't mean to wham. Saud slams him against the wall, not hard enough to hurt, but hard enough to scare. Elizabeth peeks from behind the couch door frame, eyes wide like saucers. Zod keeps Colby pinned to the wall, fingers clenched in his shirt. From his face, he looks like he's 2 seconds away from knocking the teeth right out of Colby's skull, but he manages to hold himself back. Barely. Colby glances down sheepishly at the floor, not meeting Saud's piercing gaze. He mumbles something. Saud shakes him again, hard. What was that? Couldn't hear you. Colby swallows hard, then mumbles again, a little more loudly. I said, I'm sorry. Luna steps forward, her eyes blazing, not with anger, but something far worse. Disappointment. Colby, she says quietly, look at me. When he reluctantly lifts his head, she holds up a photo of baby Elizabeth, grinning toothlessly in pajamas. Her voice is icy. You are 17. You know the difference between right and wrong. And you chose to make your 3-year-old sister cry for no reason. A muscle ticks in Saad's jaw as he waits for Colby's response.
This A
Colby slinks off to his room with his head down, avoiding eye contact. He knows he's in serious trouble. Once he's gone, Saad scoops Elizabeth up, cradling her tightly against his chest. His calloused fingers brush over her soft red curls as she burrows into his arms. You're all right, sweetheart, he murmurs gruffly, pressing a kiss to her forehead. Daddy's here. Luna drops to her knees beside Allison, whose tiny body is sprawled at the bottom of the stairs, blood trickling from a gash on her forehead. Her own face pales in horror. Elizabeth Marie! She roars, whirling around so fast her hair lashes like a whip. She grabs Elizabeth by the shoulders, not roughly, but with enough force to make sure she hears. Her voice shakes with rage and fear. What did you just do? Elizabeth's lower lip quivers as she stares at Allison's bloodied form, then bursts into wails. I didn't mean to! On the other end of the line, Saad's blood runs cold. He can practically hear Luna's panic and desperation through the phone, and the sound of Elizabeth's sobs sets his teeth on edge. Is Allison all right? He asks urgently, already half out of his chair. Luna's grip on the phone tightens, her knuckles turning white as she waits for Saad's response, her voice a razor-sharp mix of fury and terror. Soud, get home. Now. She snarls into the receiver, then whirls back to Elizabeth. You pushed your sister down the stairs? Meanwhile, in his office car, tires screeching, Soud is already dialing 911 with one hand while peeling out of the parking lot at 80 miles. Elizabeth shrivels at Soud's booming voice, shrinking back against the wall as he strides toward her, his normally composed face flushed with anger. He stops a few inches from her face, towering at least a foot more, every muscle taut with barely contained rage. You nearly put your sister in the hospital, he thunders, making her flinch violently. What the hell were you thinking, you little brat? If Soud was mad before, he's beyond furious now. His eyes blaze with barely contained fury as he steps even closer, getting right up in Elizabeth's face. She tries to back away, but the wall is hard against her back, and there's no escape. You were 3 years old, he bellows, voice like thunder. And you push your 4-year-old sister down the stairs? Are you crazy? Tears well in Elizabeth's eyes, her lower lip trembling badly as she stares up at him, completely petrified. Elizabeth hits the floor so hard it knocks the wind out of her, and fresh tears spill from her eyes as the door slams shut behind her. Her tiny body shivers with shock for several long seconds before a sharp sob bursts from her chest. The sound fades into the silence of the hall, only a few muffled, hitching breaths audible through the door. Soud stands there, panting hard. He feels sick. It's all he can do from punching a hole in the wall. Anthony's confession leaves everyone in stunned silence. Soud is the first to react, his face draining pale as the anger drains out of him. What? He says slowly, his voice barely above a whisper. All eyes turn to Colby, who stands frozen on the spot like a deer in headlights. His mouth opens and shuts, but no words come out. Saad's eyes go wide. Saad's eyes go wide with disbelief. It's almost impossible to comprehend the idea that they were all so sure of Elizabeth's guilt this whole time, when it was Colby. You, Saad breathes, staring at Colby like he's seeing a total stranger. You pushed Allison down the stairs? On purpose! Upstairs in her room, Elizabeth sits on the bed, hugging her stuffed bunny to her chest. Her eyes are red and puffy from crying. She still doesn't understand why everything blew up like this, why she was the one punished. Her little mind is filled with confusion and fear. All she wants is for the adults to come and explain, to make this all right. A knock comes at the door. Elizabeth jumps slightly, holding the bunny tighter.